Alrighty, let's get started. Welcome everybody to today's tips and tricks. It's our September presentation. Can't believe that the month is already over, that we're already in the fourth week of the month. It's crazy. If you're new around here, we do these every fourth Tuesday of the month. This is our tips and tricks presentation. My name is Tim Sessions. I'm the Director of Client Services. And with me on this call, who will be working behind the scenes, is Ryan Garcia, and he will be answering any questions that pop up. If you have a question, I just want you to direct them in the Q&A section of your window there. That way, as we answer them, we can show them to everyone, because who knows, maybe somebody else on this call has the same question. So if you chat them to us, then not everybody sees them, but if you do it in the Q&A section, we can be sure to present those questions and answers there. Also on this call, I have with me Matt, who will be presenting the slide a little bit later in the call, so we're grateful that they're here to assist in this month's tips and tricks presentation. Now, coming up in the chat, there will be a link to enter our sweepstakes that we do at the end of every call. So at any time during this presentation, be sure to click that link. It should be coming up here shortly in the chat. And that's the sweepstakes for a chance to win $100 to Amazon. Again, that should be popping up very soon. I believe Ryan will be handling that one. So if that could get thrown in the chat, that would be great. Also for the agenda, it looks like a small agenda today, but we're actually going to be talking about a lot. We want to do a home for the holidays, frequently asked questions. And we'll have a quick Q&A there as well for Matt. He'll be presenting that. And then we'll be talking all things entry confirmation emails. At the end of this call, you'll be presented with a 2-question survey. I would just strongly encourage you all to take that quick survey. It's going to give us an idea of how entry confirmation emails are being used. And maybe you don't even know what entry confirmation emails are right now, but we'll be sure to get that answered for you. And you can let us know your thoughts on those. So if you could fill out that survey at the end, that would be great. And then of course, we'll do our own Q&A if there's anything that remains unanswered. Again, if you have questions, be sure to present those in the Q&A section. And we'll announce our winner. So the link is there in the chat now. So take this time to quickly enter if you haven't already, and we'll give you some time at the end to enter as well. So it's just something fun that we do on these calls. So with that, I am going to turn the time over to Matt to answer some frequently asked questions about home for the holidays and give you all an opportunity to ask questions as well. We did get a comment, sorry, Matt, we did get a comment real quick that they're not seeing the link. Ryan, if you send that to all attendees, then they'll be able to see the link. So make sure that that is selected when you go to type your or send your message. Thanks for pointing that out. All right, now it's your turn, Matt.
Awesome, thanks, Tim. Yeah, like Tim said, it's kind of crazy that the Home for the Holidays promotion is already here, but we are excited about it this year. We hope it's going to be one of the most utilized promotion this year of Home for the Holidays that we've ever had. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about it and to address some of the commonly asked questions. And then as Tim mentioned, please chat in those questions if you have any more that I won't discuss today. We'd be happy to help you out. So let's jump into this. So first question, when can I sign up? We actually moved the sign up period up a little bit. So you can sign up for this promotion today. And I want to hit that really hard. If you don't have a sponsor, as you can see, one of the questions is, can I sign up without a sponsor? Yes, you can sign up today, regardless of sponsorship or not. Go to our Idea Studio, go to the national promotions page, and then click into the Home for the Holidays section. And you can just fill out that form and we will get you all set up for the upcoming promotion. It starts November 1st and will run for a few weeks. So make sure to really start preparing for this. It's coming up on us quicker than it feels. So the next question, can I customize graphics? Yes, customizing your graphics is actually encouraged. This will allow you to kind of branch off from our national graphics, especially if you have some stations in your market that are running it simultaneously. It'll distinguish you from some of those stations, and also put your own look and feel on the contest. So that is definitely encouraged. And next, can you give away a local prize on top of the $15,000 prize that we're giving away? Yes, you can. This is also very encouraged from us. This is a great way to tie in sponsors as well, and to make sure you have local winners in your market. So go ahead, give away as much as you want, as well as tying into our national prize. Can you sign up before you have a sponsor? I mentioned this already. Yes, please do. Do not wait until you have a sponsor, because we know how that goes. Sometimes the sponsorship doesn't come until the day after you sign up, or the day after the promotion starts. So get your station ready, and then we can always add sponsorship images, sponsorship information after the fact. So yes, please start that. And I just want to make a note here. On our Idea Studio, we do have marketing information. There's a button that says download marketing toolkit. That toolkit will have all the information you need so that you can push this over to your AEs to have them start selling. And if you're also not the person who's in charge of signing up for these promotions at your local station, that'll give you some information so that you can go and present and push someone who's in charge of this to let you run this promotion this year. So our Idea Studio has a lot of information. Please go check that out and have everything you need. Next, is there a deadline to sign up for this promotion? Yes, October 30th is the last day to sign up for this promotion. So like I said, there's no reason to wait until October 30th. The sign up period has begun, so please go and do that. But we will have to shut off the sign up period after October 30th. And then lastly, will there be winner audio provided? Yes, if you guys have participated in this promotion in the past, that is something that we have offered, just especially because this is such a big promotion, one of our favorites we do every year. So we love to send out that winner audio that you can utilize for your stations. So that is it. Let's take a look at our Q&A section and see if we have any. Looks like John asks, where on the Idea Studio page do we sign up? Again, not seeing it. So if you go to ideastudio.com, ideas.aptivada.com, and you go to, in the top right, there's a national promotion section. And then once you get to that, you'll have to sign in. If you haven't signed up for Idea Studio, you can do that there. It looks like Tim's going to show us. Or you can also click on the link from the very front. But if you go to the national page, promotions page, Tim, we can show them that route as well. If you scroll up, it's in the navigation bar. Yep, on the top. There we go. National promotions, and scroll down, click into the view details, and it'll take you to that same landing page. Then the form is at the bottom of the page, John. So make sure you scroll down, and you'll see a form to sign up and just provide your station's information there. Okay, great question. Any others?
It looks like we've had a couple come into the chat. If you're going to ask a question, if you wouldn't mind answering those or asking those in the Q&A section, that would be great. It looks like we just had another one pop in.
Larry came through. Last year, there was a maximum of 60 bonus entries that could be configured for the promotion in order to keep all the radio groups on equal playing field. Will this be the same this year? Yes, it will be. 60 bonus entries will be the maximum that anyone can utilize this year. And you can split that up amongst however many bonus entry fields you would like. So good question. Awesome.
All right, we had one more coming through the chat again, just so we can show these for everyone, but we'll go ahead and answer this one. It's in the chat. It's when will we see the Home for the Holidays promotion in our account so we can configure sponsors?
That is also a great question. So typically once you sign up, you'll see the promotion in your account within 1 day. So if you signed up for the promotion and it hasn't shown up within that time period, just send us a message to support and we'll figure out what's going on. But yeah, typically within one day, usually it's within an hour or two that we get that installed on your account. Great question.
All right. Well, I think that's it. But Matt, will you hang around a little bit just in case another question pops up and you can go ahead and answer that and we'll continue on with the presentation?
Of course. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. If you have any more questions, Matt will go ahead and type those out to you and we'll continue on with the promotions or with the presentation. So thank you, everyone. Looks like there's another question for you to go for, Matt.
Yeah, actually, I'll just answer this live instead of sending a chat. So the question is asked, how do I sign up if it's going to be syndicated? So I'm assuming, Chris, that you're over a few different stations in a market. You'll actually need to sign up each station individually, and we will do the syndicating from our side. Okay, so good question.
Awesome.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. All right, let's jump into the presentation. This actually ties in perfectly because entry confirmation emails are a part of Home for the Holidays. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So entry confirmation emails, what are they? We've seen them called several things, also known as bounce back emails or responder emails, depending on how you want to describe those. But basically, it's an email that gets sent after an entry has been made. So hence the name, entry confirmation emails. And here on this screen is a great example of what it could look like, where you can send out offers, more information about your sponsor, more information about your company, whatever you'd like to include in those entry confirmation emails. It's completely up to you. So you'll see in our example here that it's a brief message that says your entry has been received. As a thank you for entering, here's a coupon for an oil change. Man, I wish I could, I wish oil changes were always $14.99. They're getting expensive. But over here on the right-hand side of the presentation, are a few questions that I'd like to answer. So what is a confirmation email? I think we just answered that, but it's basically an email that confirms your entry or is received once an entry has been made. And if you're familiar with our platform, the entry confirmation email sends after they've completed step 2 on a sweepstakes form. So as soon as they've filled out their information and jump over to the bonus entry form, then that's when the email gets sent. So keep that in mind. What content should go inside the email? Anything that you feel like is important that pertains to that promotion, you can include. And who builds these emails? These emails will be built by you. If you're in charge of setting up the contest, then you can go through the setup process and build out those emails. And I'll show you how to do that on this call. And I'll show you where as well. So that's the next question. And who sends out these emails? That's actually a good question. As far as who sends them out, they're sent out through our platform. So if you already have a newsletter platform that you use to distribute newsletters and e-blasts and things like that, this is separate from that. However, we do have some groups that are able to pull in a template from their email platforms, but in almost all cases, you'll build out these emails right within the setup page of the promotion. Do I have to sign up for confirmation emails? Confirmation emails are available to everyone, and we'll talk about this a little bit later as well. But if you opt in to use them on a promotion by promotion basis, there could be an additional fee. And again, stay tuned because we'll go over all of those areas in just a little bit. And of course, is there an additional charge? We'll talk about that in just a second as well. I just want to throw out some stats before we get into the nuts and bolts. Here are the advantages. So if you're on the fence of using entry confirmation emails, here are some great use cases on why you should be including these in your promotions. The average email benchmark for all industries in the US, average open rate's around 17%. When I send out newsletters on behalf of Aptivada, I'm around 15 to 20%. So let's bump those numbers up. I'm in charge of sending out the newsletters, so be sure to open those if you get them, so we can bump up that average open rate. And the average click-through rate, again, around 2.5%. We see about a 3 to 4% click-through rate on the emails that we send out. However, with Aptivada confirmation emails, the average open rate is 93 to 97%. The reason is they've just entered a contest and they get an email right away saying, your entry's been confirmed. They want to see what that's all about. Maybe there's additional instructions in there. These open rates are very remarkable. And then with that, the average click-through rate has bumped up to 5.9 to 7.2% as compared to an e-blast or a newsletter. So very encouraging numbers on why you should be using these entry confirmation emails. So what apps use our entry confirmation emails? Well, basically all of them, but down there at the bottom, gallery. But you can include an entry confirmation email with some customization, and I'll get into that as well. So let's take a look at that. Let me jump into the Aptivada admin here so we can talk about what that looks like. So excuse all my accounts. On my favorites list, let's talk about entry confirmation emails. So to start, I'm going to jump into a sweepstakes first. Our simple sweepstakes, fill out your email address, first name, last name, zip code, opt-ins, and so forth. After they've filled out step 2, then they're going to get an entry confirmation email. So over here, there's a tab that says email setup. You'll go ahead and click that. And by default, the entry confirmation email will be turned off. So you'll want to turn that on, and you'll see a pop-up that says confirmation emails will be enabled for this promotion. Your account may be charged minor additional fees. And we're going to talk about those fees at the end of this call, so they're fresh on your mind. So first things first, you're going to want to enter a subject of the email. So one that I like to use is boom, you're in. That really gets their attention. And then here's your offer from, and the example I use, since this is a winter wardrobe update contest, is Dillard's. Now you can always send yourself a test email just to see how it looks in your inbox and make sure that it looks really good. And then you have the body of the email. So you can say, thanks for entering, and I'm not going to type everything out, but you can just see it's your standard header with header image that you can swap out to anything you'd like it to be, and then anything in the body of your email that you would like to include. Here's some money off at Dillard's. Obviously, that's not a very good marketing strategy to phrase it that way. But with this, you can include additional sharing. So you can share this with friends. This will share your referral link. So if there's bonus entries tied to it, you can share it directly from your email inbox. And then you can add sponsor images with connections to their Facebook pages, following on Twitter, visiting the website, and so forth. And then, of course, you're going to want to throw in some canned spam footer information about your company there. I believe the unsubscribe will be included, but I believe you'll want to throw in the address of your company. Something that's really neat is that you can pull in information using our shortcodes. And if you haven't seen our tips and tricks on that, we talked about it last month. Shortcodes are a really powerful tool to speed up the process of contest entry, especially if you're responsible for setting these up across multiple accounts. Shortcodes will pull in those tools, and that's available on our help page, help.aptivada.com. You can watch that. So very simple to set up an entry confirmation email in sweepstakes. So it's just your third tab here, email setup. You don't have to utilize them, but hopefully after showing you some of those open rates and click-through rates, that's something that you would like to consider. All right, so looks like we're getting a lot of questions coming in here, and it looks like they are being answered. So that's awesome. Keep those questions coming, and of course we'll have a Q&A at the end as well. So thank you everyone for asking those questions. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is how galleries don't include an entry confirmation email, but there is a solution. I like it, you can call it a workaround, but I like to call it a solution. So I have this gallery here. It's a best beard gallery contest, and as you can see, there isn't a section to update the entry confirmation email here. And so I'm going to show you how to pull that in. So when you create a new gallery, you have a form that's included. Now we do have a feature where you can actually pull in a form from a sweepstakes. And so there's a few use cases where this is appropriate. In most cases, we're going to tell you use the form that's included with your gallery. But in this case, if you really need entry confirmation emails to come through with the gallery submission, then here's all you have to do. You go ahead and delete out your entry form. Of course, you want to do this before you get any entries. And you will now be presented with a button that says add a source or entry form. So with that, we have the option to create a new custom entry form or use a sweepstakes form. So with this, we can select from existing sweepstakes, and I created one that just is called entry confirmation email form for gallery, so it stands out. Gonna go ahead and click create. And that's actually going to pull in a entry form from my sweepstakes that has the option to add a confirmation email. And of course, I want to make sure that I have the gallery submission fields in there so that we can utilize that. But because I'm utilizing the form from a sweepstakes, then as you'll see, I'll jump into my entry confirmation sweepstakes, and we could set up the email here for the best beard. Let's see if I have a screenshot. And sorry, I'm getting pinged a lot here, so let me make sure that things are being taken care of. All right, I'm sorry guys. So yeah, let me pull in my screenshot of the best beard. Sorry about that delay. So yeah, we can set up our best beard photo contest and fill in the information, and now it is pulling in that entry confirmation email from that form. So that is how you can utilize an entry confirmation email form from a sweepstakes into a gallery. I know it adds an additional step, but that does provide a solution there. Another thing that I'd like to point out is if you've already opted into Home for the Holidays, you'll find it syndicated in your account like Matt had mentioned. And with that is included the email setup for entry confirmation emails there. So we have our header image in here. You can throw in your sponsorship information, but again, by default, it is turned off. So you're going to want to turn that on. I will mention this right now with our national promotions, entry confirmation emails are included. So if I were a station and I was concerned about this pop-up that said confirmation emails will be enabled for this promotion, your account may be charged minor additional fees. On a national promotion, you don't have to worry about that. So keep that in mind as you build out your emails for Home for the Holidays. It is included with the opt-in there. So we would love to see everybody participating in Home for the Holidays, also participate in entry confirmation emails and take advantage of those high open rates. So I wanted to point that out. That's the tie-in with the Home for the Holidays that Matt was talking about. And finally, what I want to show is you'll see them labeled differently under quizzes and surveys and polls. They're actually called responder emails. So I am going to show you what that looks like in a sweepstakes, but it's the same for a poll or quiz as well. So I've created a sweepstakes, or excuse me, I've created a survey titled "What's for Lunch?" Where we're at, it's noon, so that's what was on top of mind for me. So, you know, somebody comes in, they fill out the survey, give out some information, first name, last name, and email, and then they're off to the races in the survey. Of course, we're looking at this at the back end, and this will give you some context of what type of email you can send with a survey. So I've added my questions, and I've actually included conditionals. So my first question is, have you had lunch today? And by adding a conditional, if they answer no, then it'll say, what is your favorite type of food? So what we're doing is trying to help somebody decide what to have for lunch today. If they answer yes on this question, then they'll just move on. But if they answer no, then we ask, what's your favorite type of food? And with that, they're given a few options: Italian, Chinese, hamburgers, sushi, Mexican, you know, the list could go on and on. Well, if they answer sushi based on the conditional, then they can be brought to a section that's all about the sushi restaurants in my area. So of course it says pick your sushi restaurant of choice, and these are a few local restaurants that are very tasty in my area, and they can pick, you know, Tona, Sakura, Sushiya, or Ohana. And if they pick one of these, then you can actually send a responder email based off of their response. So the reason why I went through all those steps is to show you how dialed in you can create these responder emails, also known as entry confirmation emails apply to sweepstakes, responder emails apply to surveys, quizzes, and polls, but they're essentially the same concept. So where do you find these in quizzes, surveys, and polls to set up? It's going to be under your settings tab, and you'll see a tab that says responder emails. All right, so before this call, I jumped in and created one called Tona Offer. And just for internal purposes, I named it Tona Offer. You can add as many of these as you'd like to. So we could actually add one for each response given under sushi restaurants. And so I titled it Tona Offer, and an internal description, you know, send this if they select Tona on the survey. And with this, you can include an email subject using these double brackets that will actually pull in their first name. So it'll say, Tim, thank you for choosing Tona. Claim your free appetizer. So again, you just build out the body of this email. This one doesn't have that header hero image like you saw in the sweepstakes, but of course you could add that to the top of the email by simply, you know, setting your cursor where you'd like it and inserting an image, much like I did with this logo of Tona. So of course you can you know, give more information about the restaurant, and only send this if they choose Tona. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I mentioned conditionals, and we're going to take a look at what that looks like. So these conditionals are saying, you know, if they answer this, then send them this email. So we'll go ahead and add our condition. And as simple, the more simple you make this, the easier. So it's always good to send this based off of kind of an end result, so to speak. So I can choose my question, and it's going to list out all my questions in my survey. But of course, I'm going to pick my sushi restaurant and my choice. So it's saying if they choose Tona, send them this email here. Now there is a feature included in quizzes, surveys, and polls that is a little bit different than the entry confirmation email from sweepstakes. And that is if you have an existing email URL to scrape, so if you build it in an outside newsletter or an outside CRM, then you can scrape that URL and pull in that email for it to send based off of these responses. There's a few more options down here at the bottom. One is an auto send, meaning as soon as they send the, as soon as they complete the quiz or survey, this is just a terminology here, auto send on quiz completion, survey completion, that should be interchangeable there. It will send. If not, you can actually wait till the end of the promotion is over and click send test email now. And that, or excuse me, send email now, and that will send the email to everybody at your will rather than auto sending it. So again, this setup is the same for quizzes, surveys, and polls. The other setup that I showed you is similar to all the other apps that entry confirmation emails are a part of. So they're very easy to set up. Again, we want to encourage you to use these emails as they're a great way to retarget and re-engage those people who are entering your promotions. So let's talk a little bit about the fee structure here when it comes to using entry confirmation emails or responder emails. So here's a cost breakdown of the entry confirmation emails. If you're going to use a sweepstakes, and of course this includes that workaround for gallery and also our form builder, then they are free up to 2,500 sends, meaning if your contest has 2,500 entries or less, then there is no fee that's incurred on a entry confirmation email. And one of the biggest reasons that we did this is we really don't want that fee to get in the way of you using entry confirmation emails. We want you to be able to test it out, and so we give you a little grace there when it comes to your promotions. So we have a great question. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye that I want to answer right here on the air. It says, is the pricing structure for 2,500 cents per week, per month? That's actually per contest. So every single promotion that you set up is 2,500 cents. So it's not a weekly or monthly basis. It's a per contest basis. So if you run a lot of contests, you can send a lot of emails for free. After that, it's a $5 CPM. If you're looking at this and wondering there are, and maybe you've set up entry confirmation emails and haven't been charged for them, some plans may include the unlimited send. So if you have a question about that, don't hesitate to reach out and see if that's your plan. But in most cases, there is the $5 CPM. So with surveys, polls, quizzes, countdown, instant win, national promotions, and our sports, the fee is waived or it's included with those. So I guess I should have used the word waived rather than included, but it is part of those individual apps and promotions there. So keep that in mind. Sorry, my presentation is going everywhere. So hopefully that answers the questions as far as what it could cost to send. Now the idea here is, and I understand I might be talking to more of the technical minded people and maybe not so much the sales, but the idea here is to get the emails sponsored. It's just another arrow in your quiver of areas where you can sponsor a contest and include additional information about the sponsors. It looks like we have some questions here. So let's go ahead and jump into a quick Q&A. I'll go ahead and answer some with while I'm on the air. And also, if you haven't entered our promotion, scroll up a little bit and you'll be able to see the contest to enter. So this is a great opportunity to do that as well. We have a few questions about individual plans. We'll go ahead and answer that off air. If you have a question, if your plan is included, we can take that one off air and let you know there. Another question, will you send a deck or further information reiterating what we went over today? Thanks for your time. Of course, we love to do these. Yes, I will download this presentation, and of course this is recorded as well, so you'll get a follow-up email with this recorded presentation, and then we can send out the deck as well. Any other questions? We'll go ahead and answer that. Again, if you have a question about your plan, and if confirmation emails are included, don't hesitate to reach out to support and we can answer that. That way we can go into a little bit more detail. Alrighty, we're always open to questions. Again, if you have any questions that come up after this call, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. All right, we got another question coming in that I'd like to go ahead and answer. Um, I don't have, so the question that just came in, on average, how many entries does Home for the Holidays get? That that's actually a great question, and it's a stump for me. It's actually one of our highest entered promotions. I don't have the data in front of me, but as far as numbers go, I mean, um, it all comes down to how this is promoted on your end, and put in front of your potential audience. But you can expect some pretty high engagement, especially if it's somebody's home or rent paid for an entire year. Um, um, I'd love to be able to present those averages to you, but I guess I came to the table and prepared with that data there. So we will answer those questions. A lot of great questions coming in from Lisa here. People are still signing up for Home for the Holidays. The next question is, how many media outlets host Home for the Holidays, since it's a national contest? Again, we're early on in the sign up stages, but we're looking, we could see quite a bit of participation in the Home for the Holidays. So it's it all depends, but we could see anywhere from 200 to 400 accounts sign up for this, if not more. So hopefully that gives you a ballpark figure there. So lots of great questions. Feel free to reach out to us individually for some of that information as well. Got a nice comment here. Home for the Holidays, great promotion. Thank you. We'd love to. We would love to. We love to run this one. It's a great thing. So a lot of good questions coming in. Sorry if I know some of those stumped me, but we'll get answers out to you as soon as possible. So without further ado, looks like there's another question that just came in. Let's go ahead and answer that. I know you guys are waiting on pins and needles to see who has won our sweepstakes, but I want to make sure that everyone gets answered. Love this idea. I'll be speaking to my direct boss about us being involved in Home for the Holidays. He will ask this question: what is the benefit for us being a part of this? That's the $1 million question, or in this case, the $15,000 question. But the benefit is you can piggyback on this prize that in most cases a station wouldn't be able to offer, or even a local, let's say a bank or mortgage company. So let's put on our sales hats here for just 1 second. But the benefit is, you could tie into this great high dollar prize and tie in sponsorship, earn additional revenue as people are looking to sponsor this promotion. You can reach out to various verticals, whether that's a bank, a mortgage company, a credit union, some sort of lender there, or any sort of home makeover company or information about that, or clients like that. You can tie them into it. Plus, you have the benefit of adding a local prize, so you can tie in a local element to that. We understand that sometimes there is a stigma around national promotions. Why would my audience enter if they know that everyone in the United States has an opportunity to enter this? And so with that, we strongly encourage a local element as well. So the biggest advantage is you're tying into a great promotion that has a high dollar prize. You can sell sponsorships to this. It's no additional money out of your pocket. It's a very low obligation to your local sponsors as well. Of course, you'll want to tie in some of those prizes, but I guess the biggest benefit of being a part of it is the additional revenue. So anyway, that looks like it. Let's go ahead and, we still got a few questions. Let's go ahead and get a few answers. It looks like there's some answers to questions out there already. So people are kind of helping each other out. We have a question. We aren't a media outlet, but are very excited to participate. Is there a way to find out what media properties in our market are participating? that we may want to join forces with. We may do it on our own, but it would be great to get the added exposure. That's a very good idea to collaborate with media partners. That would be awesome. So reach out to us to marketing@aptivada.com, and we can let you know who in your area is working if you want to team up and work together. That's a great idea. So we can accommodate that. Again, that's marketing@aptivada.com. All right. Hopefully I've fumbled enough through those questions that you got some sort of answers. Don't hesitate to reach out if you feel like the answer wasn't satisfactory. We're happy to do that. So, okay, let's go ahead and pick our winner. It looks like the questions have died down a little bit. So let's see. Let me drum roll to Ryan here. It looks like our winner is, and we got to make sure you're on the call, so I am going to pull up the list here. The winner for the $100 to Amazon is Nick Bruns. Nick, if you are on, hit that raise hand button so we know you're here. Okay, it's confirmed. Nick is here. You guys, thank you so much. There was a lot of information on this call. We're grateful that you took the time out of your late morning or early afternoon to participate. Thank you, everybody, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Nick will send that gift card to you via the email you registered with. Don't forget to take the survey at the end. We'd love to hear how entry confirmation emails are being used. Again, thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.